Hello everyone, welcome to Tony Talks. To all our beautiful subscribers, we say thank you so much for staying with us. And if you're new here, we are happy you find us. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit on that notification button so that you will be notified for more upcoming videos. In the comment section, please no derogatory comment. Thank you for watching. Till I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe, stay blessed. I love you. Bye.
I got into the premises of the court. Please note these two words. When I say the environment, what I mean inside the court. When I say premises, I mean inside the court premises. Because usually the court is always gated. So you need access into the court premises. You can be in the court environment, but not in the court premises. So immediately I came, I drove straight into the court premises, which is around 7:24 a.m. I observed, I went straight into the court to ask when the coroner inquest was going to begin. And I was told that other matters will be taken between 8 and 10:30 a.m. and coroner started. After some time, I went to the court environment where your Fabi and other, people who came for the solidarity walk were staying to, show support, collect my own t-shirt, and I went straight into the court premises. My interest was to attend the coroner inquest for the first time so that we will have, full-scale information without bias. And I've said to myself, and God help me as I give you all these insights, I'll make sure I'm not exaggerating. I'll make sure that I tell the story exactly the way it happened. So around 8:40, I think it was around 8:42 a.m., Iya Mubad and King Wat drove into the court premises in a tinted blue Toyota Camry. Immediately they came into the court, they got down. They were within the court premises. So a lot of people were walking up to Iya Mubad, Guretzi, some other faces I'm not familiar with, but I know Guretzi. Guretzi walked up to her. At a lot of times you see her angry, she was irritated for whatever reason. I can't conclude why she was, but that was what I saw. And at a point, Guretzi walked up to her and gave her a sample or a copy of the t-shirt. So she said to Guretzi that I collected it from you because of the t-shirt, you're wearing. And Guretzi when Guretzi left that place, Iya Mubad and King White were saying to themselves that that's Baba's pay. Then I approached Guretzi myself. I'm like, Guretzi, how far with Iya Mubad? Is she going to cooperate? Said that she don't worry, that we should give her time. The relationship is still new, that she would come forth. Okay, shortly after, Baba Mubad came within the court premises. The solidarity group were somewhere some distance, about 5 minutes walk from the court premises. So they came to the front of the court. That was when Baba Mubad came. When I cited him, I can't say when he came, but that was when I cited him. So he went straight to meet the solidarity group and, pay his own, courtesy visit to them, and specially requested to speak with Yomi Fabi. For whatever reason, maybe it was advised that Yomi Fabi stays within, amongst the crowd. I know that he was pulled out of the crowd, or maybe he was talking to somebody, I'm not sure. But that was what I saw from a distance they pulled him out, and Baba hugged him. Baba greeted him, and said some words to him, and Baba came straight into the court. Here's where the story begins. Immediately Baba came to the court. Some people dragged Baba by the hand because Iya Mohbad, as soon as she came into the court premises, she jumped out of the car and stayed by the side of the car. She was kneeling all through by the car. So as soon as Baba came in, someone held Baba's hand and dragged Baba to Iya Mohbad's, where Iya Mohbad was. And immediately, Iya Mohbad went on her knees. Well, she didn't go full kneel, but maybe 3/4 way down to say, "Good morning, sir." Baba tried to pat and look away a bit. There's still a bit of friction. But Baba was trying as much as possible to, I think, listen to other people while they say that maybe both of them need to come together. And immediately he greeted Baba, and Baba was walking to the court. People around, including myself, I said, "Work with the father of your son. Both of you should work together and get justice together." So everybody around consented, and she was walking right behind. Baba was going into the court at first, then he came back. Maybe somebody told him that son Wahab Shitu was outside. So Baba came back outside to come and say hello to Wahab Shitu. And all the while he was going and turning, Iya Mohbad was behind Baba. Then along the line, before Baba Mohbad came, I heard a conversation, and this is not me projecting or saying anything out of place. Mama Mohbad said, somebody asked her a question, I can't say it directly, but I heard her say, whatever the father of Mohbad says is what would. So he was following Baba. She was calm. I was even able to see her at close range. I was even commenting that, see your Ikebe, very, chocolate skin. We can see from the outside that she's troubled, but she's a very beautiful woman from her assessment. So she followed Baba to the sun. Then Baba went to greet another person. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember that. So she followed us to 2 places because I was walking right behind Baba to 2 places. So when it was time to go back into the courts, King White called and sent somebody. The guy was an Orange native to come and call Iya Mohbad and ask her to come and sit in the car. Then all the women around us said, "Don't go back, walk behind your husband." She now told us that, don't worry, when it's time to come to the courts, that she will come and she will be with Baba. That was what she said. So we all went back into the court and we're waiting for the judge. So at the point Baba sat down, there are 2 rows. Well, there are two sides of the court. Each has about 6-7 rows. So Baba was on the extreme end with some people, Arifa, some people came around, Veron, and so many, Mommy Rich Grace, Tony Peperepe, they were all together. Then Baba Iya Mohbad was sitting on another row. Then everybody kept saying, Iya Mohbad, stand up, go and meet your husband. And she stood up immediately. She went and sat. Immediately she was coming, Baba now pointed a seat in front of him that she should sit. So she sat down there. Then they were she was sitting in front of Baba. Then there's this woman that came from DPP, proceedings, director, I think it's director of public prosecution.
Yeah.
Everybody was, saying, Lanta, the fear around her, the whatever around her. She came and instructed everybody sitting on that Mama Mohbad's row to stand up and move to another side that front row is for lawyers, which was understandable. So that was what made Iya Mohbad leave in front of Baba to sit to the other side. So Iya Mohbad sat directly in front of me. Shortly, Shade came. Fola Shade, Iya Mohbad's sister came and also sat beside us. This guy, Darosha came in and was also sitting on the front row until the woman sent everybody back. So Darosha was sitting, some chairs away from me on the same row. And that was how the proceeding of the court started. It was Tanshitu that first spoke and requested for the pathologist for cross-examination. Then the magistrate now said, well, we made several efforts to get the pathologist to come. The pathologists today, they have problems in their pathology, whatever. And he also said he's writing exams. And that is why I couldn't be there. Here is my observation, and I think I have right to my opinion. You see, the same attitude is what I see in Darosha, in Prime Boy, okay, let me say something about spending. Spending too was in the courtroom and was sweating profusely. Why the guy was sweating, we don't know. Everybody was there. Nobody was sweating, was just sweating. Should we give you water? People around him were pampering him. Should we give you water? Should we give you this? It was just sweating. And most of them, because I was sitting at the main entrance, when they walk past you, they ooze of alcohol, of whatever that they have taken. And
sorry, can I interject you there? Do you mean that spending was in the court today?
Spending was there in black senator.
Okay.
Spending was there.
Okay, thank you.
Sweating profusely.
Okay, thank you.
And the reason for the sweat, only Spending understands. I don't understand it. He was sitting 5 seats away from me. I observed everything. And I tell people, and to give you, you can almost rely on my testimony 92%. I'm a data analyst by profession, and I write 4 programming languages. I can collect the phone numbers of everybody's panel, just say it, and I will recite it after you. That is not because I am blessed. It is the nature of my job. So when I give you information, I might not tell you my information is 100%, but test the accuracy of my information. And when I analyze data, I am trained to tune and give accuracy, precision on data to the tune of 92%.
Thank you.
So it will show in everything that I tell you. So Spending was 5 seats away from me, sweating profusely, even though it wasn't cold, even though there was nothing indicating it was going to be cold. It was just sweating. So what I see when San Wahab requested to speak with, I was asking about the whereabouts of the pathologist. I see the magistrates giving either Darosha, all of them, okay, let me say Darosha and the pathologist today, too soft landing. Because the truth of the matter is, maybe people do not understand. While I was an entrepreneur, I have been in several issues. And I see how the police, I've seen how the court is. I'm not new to the judicial system or to the court system. I know that the judge would want to give fair hearing, but I am yet to see the attitude that comes with trying or asking questions, fact-finding around a murder case. The attitude, like a parent, you might be a melancholy, but if you are raising children in this generation, You have to set aside your attitude, your personality, who you are, so that you are able to raise a child in this Gen Z generation. So if you are gentle, you might have to do away with your gentleness, because if you train that child, raise that child based on your personality, you might not be able to get a total child. So I have not seen the attitude that I see, or the disposition of the magistrate to discuss is showing me that maybe we're trying somebody that is owing the other party money. There is too much empathy. I don't know if it comes with the profession, but I would solicit and request that those cases be taken with more seriousness. That is why it's a prime boy, with all due respect, whoever prime boy thinks he is, he walked into the court when the court was already sitting, with chewing gum in his mouth, with 2 earrings in his ears, with sunglasses, with a colored bear, and was chewing gum, looking for whatever.
Wow.
You see, if people feel that they have come to the court to play lotto, I don't understand. There is an attitude you take to the court.
That's right.
There is an attitude you take everywhere. That is why all of them were so nonchalant. You needed to see Darosha. Do you understand? But their attitude, at a point, they had to caution this lawyer. I have one of them by his name. His name is CC Nwachuku Esquire. At a point, I had to caution him that you don't shout at a lawyer. You just tell them, I'm not sure. I don't know what you're talking about. He was shouting because while he was talking, if a lawyer is cross-examining him and asking me the question, if he's not answering and the lawyer is trying to reiterate, you will see the magistrate saying, he has answered that question before. He has answered previously. So this thing is not making these people see the seriousness of the case at hand. We need to also advocate that the attitude around the court is too liberal. I have dragged people to courts. I have been dragged to court before, and I've seen the different attitude. You don't go before a judge who has the power to charge you for contempt of court and be lackadaisical, swinging on by one side. I've gone to a court before, and I carried a powder bag. The way I stood, I stood on one leg, and the magistrate told me this is not a fashion house.
Exactly.
Quickly, I reset my brain. I didn't even know. I said, don't be angry, Your Highness. It's your kingship. You know, and we had a very funny experience in the court. So you will see people walking to the court lackadaisical. If our judicial system is not respected, if our law is being taken by a pinch of salt, people do not know. At a point, the magistrate got agitated and said, the world is waiting. If she knows the world is waiting, my Lord, I want to see an attitudinal change in the next sitting. Exactly. We want to be sure that these people understand the gravity of the allegation against them. Because the attitude I am seeing is the attitude of I owe you money. It's not the attitude of a life that is lost.
Yes, homicide.
Have we gotten to a place where we do not have respect or regard for human lives? The lives we can't create, we cannot create these lives. We cannot. So why are we taking it with a pinch of salt? To the point that Darosha has the guts and the effrontery to say that when Davido sent 2 million naira, Baba became gingered to quickly go and bury. And this is my question to you, Darosha, if you're on this life. Is your brother a goat of 26 years? Abimalu 26 years. You see, the way they even give their testimony, is annoying.
I know.
They are not sober. back.
I
They are
know.
just behaving as if this is the script, let's play by it. So let me go back to the story.
Thank you.
So the magistrate was making case for the pathologist. But I like what Santishitu said eventually. He said, okay, we cannot make the courts look like somebody is bigger than it. And I like that. In fact, after the procedure, I had to walk up to Santishitu and I like everything you did. For anybody who is intelligent, Magbehi Deputy Santishitu tó ti mú ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ sí. And tó bá ní ọpọlọ iṣẹ́ ni Santishitu ṣe. So we want to okay, give them one last chance. If at the next inquest, all these people that have been invited, because Darosha said that, confirmed that he wasn't directly served. He saw his name through the substituted service. That was why he came. So, lawyer San Wahab said, if Darosha saw it and came, there is no reason for the rest not to come. The court now said, yeah, the magistrate said he was going to take a standoff, and in 15 minutes she will return to come and give response to that. So she went, and after 15 minutes, true to her words, she came back. And before she could give response, she listened to Prime Boss lawyer. Prime Boss lawyer's name is Nwosu Esquire. Nwosu stood up and said, the same thing applies to me, my lord. We have requested the presence of Mohbad's wife, Wunmi, and she's not in court. They are not bigger than the law. They are supposed to be here. They're supposed to do this. They're supposed to do that. The magistrate has said, okay, collectively, let me give a response. Give them one more chance. And after one more chance, the court can now exert its authority and be able to take, maybe subpoena them. That area, I'm not sure. But
it's a bench warrant. It's a bench warrant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I was expecting a bench warrant.
Yeah.
Because if the court has asked you to come, you are not coming. I was expecting to hear a bench warrant, but they didn't say a bench warrant. They just, they made it generalistic.
Yeah, I think it's because of the fact that you heard Darosha said he heard from a substitute, channel. So because they were not served directly, they can use that as an excuse. Do you get me? So now the judge has used, the magistrate has used her discretion to then give them a second chance and a last chance. So the next one after now, he definitely, if they do not turn up, that is a bench warrant for them. Watch out and see that. It's contempt of court.
Okay.
It's contempt of court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Court. Okay, so Santishitu now called all the other witnesses that were served. All of them were not in court except Darosha. So Darosha's lawyer, C.C. Nwachukwu Esquire, now rose up and was pleading to the court, praying to the court, that the court should adjourn his testimony to another time so that he can have time to prep his client. Prime lawyer, it was Sanshitu's lawyer that stood up first and said, you can't be wasting the time of this court. People have come here before. He was claiming, the reason he gave that, he needed to submit a statement of oath. Then Santishitu said, everybody that has been, some people that were cross-examined, not everybody, some people, he mentioned some names, so I'm not going to say, that they were cross-examined without statement of oath. What is required of them is to give, just to give their testimony, account of what happened. Prime boy lawyers who also stood up and said, if you are saying you want to prep your clients, you are not, you are portraying to the court that you are trying to, polish his testimony so that it can look good.
That's
He's
right.
only here to give account of everything that has happened. Why would you why does it need time? Then there's another woman. Her name is Abiodun Makinde Esquire. She says she's representing a community, but I'm not sure of the community now. But I will get further information and be able to update my own, my own documentary of this information later.
Okay.
It was like, okay, we can't continue to. It's just an account. She was even the one taking, buttressing the points, psyching the judge to take action. And because she was talking very much, the judge could not, turn down a request. Because everybody seconded, the magistrate now said she was originally trying to justify why the prayer of Darosha's lawyer be granted. Because everybody, what shocked me today was everybody had a lawyer. Prime Boy's lawyer was there. Iya Mohbad had a lawyer.
Wow.
Wumi had a lawyer. San Wahab for Justice for Mohbad and Baba.
Sorry, can I interject you there? So Wumi had a representative, but she wasn't there.
Wumi had a representative today, yes.
And did he or she?
Two lawyers were there.
Okay, did he or she represent? Did they say anything why she didn't turn up in the court?
She tried to make case for why Wumi was not present, but the magistrate didn't pay too much,
attention
emphasis on that. I think what distracted, to be fair on the part of the magistrate, I'll be very fair. What distracted the magistrate on that Wumi's case was the controversy that was generated because this Darosha's lawyer insisted. Even though when the magistrate now called Darosha, are you ready to give your testimony? Darosha said yes.
Okay.
Are you able to, if at any point in time you are not comfortable, you can tell the court you're not comfortable and we can move it from there. The lawyer was still insisting that his client was not ready. So everybody now said, and I also liked the audience. People came, the public who came to view, they were, in fact, the public prosecutor was even looking at everybody's faces and saying, emotions are high. People really into the case. They were giving, they were passing their own side comments when it's necessary. They were affirming and rejecting whatever does not work for them at every point. I think they also did a good job. So that made the judge, she was at a point, even though it was clear that they were a bit lenient towards the other part, in my opinion, like I said. At the same time, she was very aware that the public are there and that, anything that does not go well, I think that really guided also, although she has the veto power, honestly, but at the same time, the law is for the people is for the law. So you don't have a law when there's no people. So I think that really guided our youth. So they now called Darosha into the witness box. So all through his testimony, he was guided by his lawyer. Tell us your name. He was first of all, he swore to an oath. He said he was going to speak the truth and nothing but the truth. And his lawyer started. Tell us your name. What's the relationship with the deceased? He said, it's my nephew. And what happened that day? Listen carefully, everybody.
Yeah.
This was Darosha's testimony.
Okay. Your network. Sorry, your network.
One. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay.
Darosha said they Jordan, your network is bad now. Honestly, we can't hear even from Darosha. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is Darosha's testimony. Darosha said they came back to the house. I will still go back to the show and everything, but this is how it started. They came back from the show around 1 a.m. on Monday morning. He said immediately they got to the house on Oshid Road, Lekki. He left for his own house, Abraham Adesoya, in Aja, around that 2 a.m. And he came back to the house in the company of DJ Bami, Spending, Lifestyle, OG. I'm hearing that for the first time. Adura, there were 6. Okay, if I remember, I'll let you know. But I counted 6 people that they came back together. But he left all of them on 2 a.m. Monday. You know, they went to the show Sunday night. So by the time they came, it was 2 a.m. Monday morning. He left for his own house, 2 a.m. He now said before he left, he said that Mohbad's car had a fault. And he was supposed to send a mechanic to Mohbad. And he was calling Mohbad all through. Mohbad did not pick his call. But he still asked the mechanic to go back to go to the house and go and fix the car. His lawyer asked him, what time did the mechanic go there? He said between 11 and 12. But that he asked his mechanic, did you see Mohbad? He said, the mechanic said no. But Mohbad spoke to me from his room upstairs. And I know the way Lekki property is. I stay in Lekki as well. You can actually talk to somebody from, the master's bedroom is always, facing outside. And you will have a balcony. He said he heard Mohbad's voice. I was expecting the lawyer to say, a mechanic that was going there for the first time said he heard Mohbad's voice. Please help me note that. Mohbad's voice.
As he were here, so I...
But he said he heard Mohbad's voice. He said all through Monday, he did not hear Mohbad again. He did not hear from Mohbad until around 11-12. I don't know the covenant Darosha has with 11 and 12. He said between 11 and 12, he got a call from Rumi saying that Mohbad was convulsing, that the nurse gave him injection and he was convulsing and they don't know what to do. That he should start coming between 11 and 12. They asked him, who is this nurse? Nurse Feishara Ogedengbe. Do you know him? He said, yes. I saw him when I saw her at the hospital. He now said that immediately he left Abraham Adesoya to Oshid Road. He said it took him about 20 minutes. Listen, everybody. Today you come more also. Our condemn only one between 11:30 12. Only take only 20 minutes to get to Oshid Road. He said when he got to Oshid Road, he met them at Kuramed Hospital. He said when he got to Kuramed Hospital, he saw that they were placing oxygen in his nose. And after 11-12, converse. It take only 20 minutes. Lati day hospital. One day hospital, you know.
Please, can I interject you there? Please. So he said 11-12. But Wumi said to the 12. But Wumi said that this whole thing. Yeah, 11:30. But Wumi said on Tuesday, this whole thing took place around 2 o'clock, and that they were on their way to the hospital.
He said the 11-12 not pay overtake only 20 minutes, but when he got to Kuramed, they were placing oxygen in his nose. How many minutes did you spend in Kuramed? I'm not sure, he said about 45 minutes in Kuramed. Please help me add, let's assume that around 11-12 that they called him, let's say 12 for ease of calculation. It took him 20 minutes to get there. That is 12:20. Then they spent 45 minutes in the hospital. That's around 1:05 p.m. Listen, man. The hospital now called him and his wife to one corner and said, the boy has died. And he didn't believe.
Oh, he said that Mohbad died when he got to the hospital.
Yes, that he met Mohbad on the hospital bed in the ward. Maybe, every hospital we have like an emergency point.
Yeah.
Where they first of all receive, Nigerian hospital have emergency ward, where they first of all receive you.
I know,
so
I understand.
They were placing oxygen in his nose, trying to perform a CPR, trying to, do some things to, on the patient. And they told him he has died. And he said that...
Sorry, can I interject you? But Wumi said in the CTC that they after they told them that Mohbad had died, it was then they called Darosha to come. That was they told.
That is what they said in the CTC.
Yes, and that it was Darosha that gave. Okay, continue. I'm just saying,
But that is not what they said today.
Okay.
I'll take my time to read the CTC so that
please
we can be doing comparison.
Yes, it's good.
He now said that he didn't believe what they have said. They now carried Mohbad into the car again. He remembered that there's another hospital very close to where Mohbad was staying before in Osapa, London. And they now drove to the hospital. He said when they got to the hospital, the doctors was also trying to perform a CPR. And they reached level of pain. That's what I said. That Mohbad has reached this. That this person died 2 hours ago. He was emphasizing 2 hours ago. He said it 3 times. That is mastered, and there's a need for you to continue to talk about emphasize 2 hours ago. But meanwhile, during cross-examination, one of the lawyers asked him, from that hospital, Kuramed, to Perez, second hospital, how long did it take you guys? He said about 45 minutes because there was traffic. So by the time they got to Paris was when they told them that Mobile has reached the second level and is gone. And he said he was confused. But the story I was expecting, although maybe I want to believe that the legal team it is not yet time to spill.
No, please, can you come again? Biodun, I didn't hear you there. You said you want to believe that the legal team. Can you please kindly come again?
I want to believe that this is my own observation and my own insight.
Okay.
I want to believe that the legal team has their last jokers. And that the fact that they are not spilling everything out does not mean that they don't know what to ask. I will say why I've concluded like this.
Okay.
You see, during cross-examination, San Wahab did not talk more. He just asked Darosha 3 questions. If I were Darosha, I will lock myself in the room wherever I am now and be waiting for my sentencing with the questions San Wahab asked. What are the 3 questions? San Wahab said, can you give account of the health status of Mubad a week to the event? Say, Mubad was fine. She even said Mubad was fine and happy. That was what Darosha said. He said, what about a day to the show? He said, yes, it was fine and happy. He said, on the day of the show, he said it was also fine and happy. And when did you come back from the show? He said Monday. Then he now said, okay, you gave account in your testimony, which I will go back to, that there was a court in Mubad's side. Say yes. Someone said, okay, let's assume that injury is injury, whether small or fatal. So you believe that any injury can lead to death? He said yes. He said okay. But on the day you came back from the show, was he fine? Yes. A day before, was he okay? Yes. A week before, was he okay? Yes. But on Tuesday, that when you came back from the show, was the arm so bad that, it warranted him to be taken to the hospital for something? He said no. It was just blood streaming down. Just small blood. That's okay, show us the position. He held his hand and showed, middle hand between the fist and the elbow. He now said, okay, and by Tuesday, there was a nurse who gave him injection. He said yes. And the injection was what led to convulsion. He said yes. And from then, Mubad died. He said yes. San Wahab said, I rest my case, my lord, at this point. You know what he has established? 1 week to the event, this boy was fine. A day too, he was fine. On the day of the show, he was fine. When they came back from the show, he was fine. So what led to you calling us, giving him injection, and he convulsed? Then there was another lawyer from NBA, the lawyer that Nigerian Bar Association came. That's okay. When you got to the hospital, when they called you, he said, okay, what relationship do you have to the disease? He said, he's my nephew and I'm his PA. So let's assume that as the PA, you know everything. Sometimes you hold his phones, sometimes you do everything, you book his show. He said, hey, I don't work for him. He said, so you are Father Christmas, who do not earn from the person you claim to be his PA. He now said that, you see, number one, I think that these people should be cross-examined in Yoruba language, that they best understand, and let there be an interpreter. Because most of the time, throughout today, he shot himself several times. And I don't want to ascribe that to lack of understanding of the question or outright lies. Because there are some things he wasn't even supposed to say. Anytime I hear 1 week, time I hear no show, time I hear a day to the show. See, I hear everything was single to shame back on day. Kilo wa warrant in that we must go out on Tuesday. David Thomas converse. It was very clear. So they shot himself around. Then I said, okay, so what do you now do? He now said, well, I was not in the country. I came back to the country around February 20-something because I didn't like everything that was going on in the record label. But it was my brother that called me to come back, and that was when I came back. The lawyer was saying, that's not what I'm asking you. What I'm saying to you is this. You work for somebody. He said every other person collects salary, lifestyle, MLOG, who is his photographer, every other person collects salary except him and spending. So how do you earn money? He said I book shows for him sometimes. Whenever I book show, I take a cut.
So your order is pay. Illiteracy is a disease. Sheko Kaweni, you can continue, sorry.
That is what I'm saying, that I can come down when people is on Yoruba. I'm telling you, come down on Yoruba. Because they don't.
If you are collecting, you are on commission. If not for mobile, you won't get paid. You are on his payroll. Olodo.
So they now, in fact, I'm sorry. So that's how they earn money at the end of the day.
That is payroll. That is payroll.
They now ask him that, so you are saying that sometimes, almost time you have access to mobile phone. You see, there was a little confusion there, and they changed the story. I am almost very sure of everything I heard. And by the time the CTC is released, you'll see that I said it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say Mohbad had 2 phones. He said Mohbad had 3 phones. I've heard people said 2 phones. He didn't say 3. He didn't say 2. He said 3. Mohbad had 3 phones. But because, there were times when some arguments will override and subdue some points. So some points were actually missing. He said 3. He said the phones were with me from the hospital. Because the NBA lawyer said, you are the PA. So when you came to the sports, it can be assumed that you took over events of things. Say yes, including his phone. The man asked a direct question, Yeye. He said, so why did you drop some phone and you decide to keep one? He now said, well, I don't know. When we got to the house, it was the wife who took over. Then it was second day that the prosecutor and the investigators came, and they were asking for. They now said, okay, when the investigators came, where were you? He said it was downstairs in the house. You didn't follow them to the rooms? He said no. And they asked for the CCTV camera. Let me now tell you something, Lily.
Please go ahead.
You see, another way they have shot themselves in the leg. They ask you the position of the CCTV. Darosha said, when we packed to the house newly, the CCTV was working. At a point, the CCTV was not working again. 2 things he established there. 1, there was indeed a CCTV.
Yeah.
3 things indeed,
yeah. Please go ahead.
2, at a point, the CCTV was working. Then the 3rd question that I'm going to pose to investigators. Where is the decoder? You see, when somebody wants to commit a crime, you have to be very intelligent. Exactly. To say that you wipe record from certain dates to certain dates, to claim that the decoder was not, that the CCTV was not working.